Hey guys. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball, HTB. Hope all is well. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Look, before I get into it, if you're new, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Appreciate the new subscribers. Thank you as we journey on and forward. But for those of you who are tuning in and you're sort of wondering, what on earth is Ball North Chat? So Ball North Chat is basically a 20-minute to half an hour video where I talk about certain topics that can be thought-provoking, challenging, potentially make you think. And depending on where you sit, you could either agree or disagree. But point being, there's something there where you can think about it, mull over it, and sort of go from there. I'm obviously in the rugby league context. So again, that's what it is about. Welcome to episode 18. So without further ado, I've got a ball to catch. See you guys soon. Alright, so I've got 4 to 5 topics here depending on how brave I feel. Number 1 is the Penrith Panthers post-game antics, right? Number 2 is the new NRL team that has been confirmed, reportedly confirmed, heading into 2023. The Daine Laurie incident, and also the Bulldogs, right? A look into them. Not a review per se, but more so just look at the players and how dominant can they be. I think really they're probably arguably the most interesting team heading into 2022. And like I said, 4 to 5 depending. See if I touch the last one. But in saying that, let's get into it. So guys, Penrith Panthers. We know that they won in a very grueling match against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Some may say that they got robbed, the Rabbitohs. Some may say that Panthers won fair and square. Some may say they don't care. Wherever you stand, point is Penrith Panthers won. It's in the history books. Now, after the game, I was reading social media posts and a lot of people were not happy. Some were not. I think there's a very vocal group that are very anti-Panthers, and I'm not too sure why. I mean, you can sort of look at different points in their season, potentially players too, but I mean, to just be unhappy about the Penrith Panthers as a whole, I think is quite, it's probably a bit unreasonable from my point of view. Now, we can sort of look at the Tyrone May incident, right? Long story short, for those who don't know, Tyrone May was involved in let's just say, a photographic event where he posted some, unsolicited, no consent photos, so to speak, and basically came up with an Instagram post saying, who's won now, basically, and obviously got deleted because of the backlash. And you sort of look at him as a character and you think, well, why on earth did he win? Why did he deserve it? Again, from those looking from perhaps a moralistic viewpoint. Now, another point as well, I think people probably aren't really a fan of the To'o/Luai sort of antics regarding their dancing, their singing. I think it's great. I think it's vibrant. I think it brings a new era into NRL that needs to be there. Gone are the days of just the serious faces and, the hey, goodbye and the full credit to the boys and goodbye. Gone are those days. I think rugby league is slowly emerging regarding characters, regarding certain figures who we just love watching because of what they say. But in saying that, obviously, at the same time, making sure to, walk that tightrope because you just have to. But with To'o and Luai, I think they bring a very funny, humoristic approach to the way they do things as individuals, as characters. And I personally don't mind it myself. Others obviously don't, and that's okay. But yeah, so basically they won. A few posts on Instagram, obviously Instagram Live. Giko as well singing the Rabbitohs song, right? I think he was drunk too. And obviously, again, the fans sort of having that backlash. You look at Ivan Cleary and you look at the Tigers, right? And those who blame him for what he's done. It just seems like it's a melting pot of, hate, for lack of a better word. And I'm not saying that in that sense of haters. Maybe not. I'm not saying that. But I think it's more so from a point of people who just don't like the Penrith Panthers. Now, I'm just surprised. I think there's some very good players there personally who have done well to redeem themselves, or have done well just to stand out from that team. Burton, you've got Nathan Cleary. You've even got Capel to a certain extent. You've even got someone like David Tapangai Jr., who came over from the Broncos just as a stint for the Penrith Panthers. I think he did what he had to do. I think that was a good buy, and he helped them get into that final there. So again, certain players I think are doing well, but I don't know. I just think I don't have an issue personally with the way they've approached it. Even Kikau as well. Those may hate it, but that's what creates rivalries, gets people like me talking. So no blame there. You got someone like Nathan Cleary, back to those who I think are good characters for the team. He has a redemption. This year here was a year of redemption, right? A year where he was going to just stand up and prove his worth. And he did just that. He's head and shoulders above everyone else regarding that halfback position. And I think he just owns it, personally. So, again, yeah, unsure. Obviously, again, mentioning Ivan Cleary in the Tigers and what's happened there. Yeah, it is pretty full on. But I guess in this moment here, regardless of how you feel, you just got to accept the fact that the Penrith Panthers have won. Now, I'm not saying that they're right or wrong for those who are against the Penrith Panthers winning. Obviously, they've won, so you can't do much about it. But I'm not, it's just, I guess for lack of a better word, I'm perplexed, perhaps. I think they definitely deserve, they definitely deserve their trophy there, the premiership there. They're good bunch of dudes, I think, well deserved. So that is my opinion on the Penrith Panthers there regarding their post-match antics, full of fun, full of joy, bit of banter. It is what it is. I can name you one team right now that if they won would be worse than the Penrith Panthers. So look, from where I sit, I'm okay. Probably disregarding Tyrone May, I'm okay with the rest of the squad. Tyrone May, they're obviously probably not doing much to help himself, and admittedly so. Yeah, not the biggest fan of him. But in saying that, it is what it is. All right, so we move into the next topic. Topic 2, the new NRL team heading into 2023. Bear in mind, for those who are unaware, it's basically going to be a team that's featured in Queensland. Now, these are Jets, the Dolphins, and the Brisbane Firehawks. Now, my understanding is that it's going to be a Brisbane team. Most certainly, it makes sense. I spoke about this before. Regardless of view, a metropolitan area, money, finances, new fans, a city rivalry, Brisbane team against Brisbane team. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And on top of that as well, obviously you're gonna get players there. Wayne Bennett, I'm hearing rumors that he's gonna be kept coaching that team. I'm sure you'll get your Munsters, you'll get some other players off contract, and 2 years time we'll be playing. I see the next new team as probably a team that'll be stronger than maybe a bottom 4 team, potentially. But obviously, again, in saying that, with a new team, there'll be a buy, which means a miss of money, I think. So obviously, again, you'll be scrambling to get another team. That'll be the interesting one there. And so my thoughts on the new team, I think it's good. As I've said, I think it's great. More games to talk about, more rivalries, more moments. I'm not complaining, personally. It's probably just a pity they haven't done it sooner. But with the NRL, they like to call themselves National Rugby League without it being really national. Again, that's probably a different video for a different time. But it's good, especially with revenue. It's a good forward step. I think Queensland does deserve another team. Bearing in mind, though, that with that being said, you're just hoping that the next team is going to be, interstate elsewhere, either WA, SA, or go to New Zealand, which I've just named, in my opinion, the next 3 teams that should be, happening after. But no, it's good. It's awesome. Looking forward to the promos, looking forward to the jerseys, the representation, who's going to be the first captain of the team. It's going to be good. Obviously, Brisbane Broncos, that will be their rivalry team, but you'll be surprised. I mean, sometimes it won't be the case. What if they have more rivalry with, say, Titans or the Cowboys or maybe even the Raiders? You just don't know. But it's going to be good. Looking forward to it for sure. And the third topic, we go into Daine Laurie and that the incident, the Daine Laurie incident. So for those of you who are unaware, Daine Laurie is a up-and-coming young fullback for the West Tigers, who previously played for Penrith. I believe he's a Penrith junior. Now, going back to Penrith and how they won their premiership, there was a photo that was shown, and I'll show you guys right here. And it was basically Daine Laurie celebrating the Penrith Panthers victory wearing a Penrith Panthers top. It is quite controversial, especially if you're a Tigers fan. Again, for those who just absolutely cannot stand Ivan Cleary, this may be unforgivable for some. Can you blame them? No, because sport can evoke strong emotions, strong feelings, and sometimes opinions that cannot be swayed. That's just the way it goes. Now, again, with Daine Laurie, he's young. He came up with an apology video. Basically, he apologized, saying that he didn't mean it to be that way, but he grew up with some of those guys there who won and was just happy for him, and that's where he's from. Now, it is interesting because you can sort of see it as a conflict of interest, especially as a Tigers fan. You're signing him, you're wanting him to bleed and to breathe. Tigers, and for him to celebrate it like that, it's interesting. Now, if I turn it around and I look at it myself, say for example Reece Walsh, right? Hypothetically, Broncos win next year. Reece Walsh celebrates, and he's wearing a Broncos jersey. For me personally, my feeling, I'll be disappointed. I guess people can sort of look at it and say, well, he's allowed to. That's okay. But for me, it's sort of like, nah, because you play for that team, you represent that team. And even though your friends may play in it, sure, whatever. But the point is, you're part of this other team. You're part of the Warriors, So for you to sort of wear like another top of another team and celebrate them winning, say, for example, we either don't make the 8, lose the first round of elimination stage, whatever, doesn't give you that right to do so. And again, it might be harsh. What are your sort of opinions there? But for me, nah, I wouldn't be able to hack that. I can't take that. It's like, if you're going to wear Warriors, you be Warriors. So even if your own mates somehow win the grand final, whatever, that is not my issue as a Warriors fan, as a Warriors member, as a Warriors supporter. And it is my issue regarding you wearing another jersey. Obviously, there's some Tigers fans who probably just don't care, and that's fine, but that's where I stand. Where do you sort of stand? Loyalty to me is a huge thing, and as we know as Warrior supporters, it's a big thing to support this team. It definitely is. So, yeah, where do you stand? So, again, as for Daine Laurie, well, look, fair enough. I get it. I understand the context. I get it. But I don't know. I just don't think it's good enough. I don't think it's good enough. Your mates, sure, cool. You don't need to wear that and celebrate like that. But again, that's just my thoughts on it. You may think differently, and that's okay. What do you sort of sit on it? All right. So we go into the third topic. Now, this one here, interesting. The Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. So for many of you who know, and for some of you who don't, the Bulldogs finished last this year. Now, this is not a season review. I'll be doing that later on them. This is more so just a quick look at the players they have now. So Josh Adokar has been shown around the Bulldogs, facility area. He's had photos of him wearing Bulldogs colors, and I think it's strange. It looks good though. I can't complain there. It's better than the other jersey he was wearing. But it's good. So for me personally, like the Bulldogs have such key signings. They've got Burton, Adokar, they've got King as well, they've got Bangai Jr. Again, they've just got a plethora of talent coming. And it's just so amazing. You know, obviously we're flushing out probably half of their squad from the last 2 years. They've actually managed to get enough cap space to be able to do these buys. Very good quality buys too, I might add. I'm actually very happy for the Bulldogs. They have done well in recruitment. And yeah, like, how serious do you think they can sort of contend for next season? Obviously, again, with all those names there, you're sort of thinking that they can do something because, again, it looks pretty on paper. That definitely does. When you have Dufty as a fullback, when you have Adokar and Kotrick, or Adokar and Okumbo, you know, and then you say, for example, have Kotrick in the centres, and then you've got Burton and Flanagan in the halves. You've got players like Vaughan, Bangai Jr., King, all in their front, you know, in the forwards. When you sort of look at it from that aspect, as well as Joshua Cook as well for hooking. Yeah, look, you can't be remiss if you think that they can do some serious damage. But yeah, especially on paper, it's a pretty team to look at for sure. Those are some decent names. But again, there's always that little factor though, that what if it doesn't happen? What if they don't pull it off? What if they can't? So again, there's all those little things there. What are your thoughts on the Bulldogs? What do you think? Do you think they can do some damage? Do you think they can't? Do you think, yeah, what are your thoughts on them? But yeah, for me personally, yeah, can't complain. I'm excited though. As I said before, I think they're the most interesting team heading into next year. What can they do? You'd be. I think it'll be. I think you'd probably want to cheer for them. You'd hope that they do something. They've been for a lot of pain. With Gus Gould at the helm there, they've made some good positive changes. So we'll just have to see. But in saying that, yeah, with the Bulldogs, I think they can do something. We'll just have to wait and see right there. And guys, that brings me to topic 5. Now, I'm not going to go over this for a long sort of bit here, but I'm here to talk about Manu Vatuvei, and basically not necessarily going off what has happened, but more so, you know, just what's, I guess, the ramifications, and I guess what it means for someone like myself, who again, obviously has my own views regarding the drugs and alcohol and all that stuff there. So for those of you who don't know, he got involved with some, I guess, drugs, and he said that he was innocent, and unfortunately reports come out and said he's pleading guilty. Now, I'm not going to go into too much details and specifics, but Manu Vatuvei, to me, I consider him the greatest winger to have ever played for the Warriors. What he's done for us cannot be replicated. The things he's done, full stop. What a beast. I consider him the best winger, for me personally, of all time. I loved Manu growing up as a kid. I looked up to him. You know, when you sort of go out and you play a bit of backyard league, you sort of sometimes want to, I guess, copy some of your players. You want to sort of just, mimic them, mimic the way they do things. And Vatuvei for me was the player that I used to sort of look up to and play like, or want to play like. Now, obviously, the ramifications for this potentially could be his history being rubbed out of the Warriors game, the NRL. I'm not too sure, you know, sort of how they go about this or approach it. But again, without trying to get too deeply into what he's done, for me, all I just can say is that as someone who I love looking up to, it's disappointing. I think it's probably that because you sort of look at him as the ultimate leader, especially what he's done for young Pacifica kids, you know, in the South Auckland region, and just the way I think he's held himself up in such a very high and astute sort of way. I think he's very cordial, I think, and he was just a very proper dude, you know, type of guy. And for that news to come out, especially when he sort of had his video, and you're sort of there just hoping that obviously he hasn't done anything wrong. and for reports to come out said that he has, and he's actually pleading guilty. Yeah, disappointing. From that perspective of like I said, a role model. It's hard. As to what happens next for him, I'm not too sure. I'm not here to really say anything else apart from just how I feel there, guys. Like I said, I'm not going to touch on it too long. It can be very emotionally provoking, this one here. So I'm going to sort of try and tap out of it a bit earlier. But disappointing and just sad and heartbroken that my hero, my league hero could go through this. But I guess at the same time, it shows you again the cliche: sports stars are also human. But there's just some things you don't expect, especially something like this, considering what it does to people. A lot of moral lines being crossed there. But I think at the end of the day, you're just going to have to let just let nature take its course there and be done with it. So again, like I said, I'm not there to support. Nah, not at all. You guys know my stance on those things there. But I guess as I just reflect back on who he was and who he meant to me as a league player, and just seeing what he did for the Kiwis and for the Warriors and just the game itself, and it's disappointing. It really is. But what are your sort of thoughts there? But again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. This has been another Ball and All chat. I've appreciated this, and appreciate the comments as well. I want to do everything I can to get back to replying to comments now. I know I haven't done it for a while, and my apologies for that, but please keep messaging and stuff like that. I appreciate it. Keep the comments. I appreciate it very much. But in saying that, probably a very different approach. But in saying that, guys, take it easy. Tell me your thoughts. That'd be great. And I'll see you guys next time. And hold the ball. See you guys next time.